Welcome to our weekly Get Pregnant Now Quickie. This is your bite-sized fertility reset where we'll cover either one fertility boosting supplement or nutrient, one sneaky fertility saboteur, or one quick energetic release or mindset hack. So you can shift your body and energy towards optimal fertility in less time than it takes to scroll Instagram. Let's go. Welcome to the Finally Get Pregnant Naturally podcast, the podcast helping women identify the real reasons you haven't conceived or stayed pregnant so you and your partner can finally grow the family of your dreams. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. Let's dive in, shall we? Hello and welcome to the Finally Get Pregnant Naturally podcast. Today we're going to be talking about a very common daily habit, a fertility saboteur, which is going to be blue light and late night scrolling on your phone. Now, I just want to say no blame, no shame. I think the majority of the world is guilty of doing this. I am even guilty of doing this from time to time. But I think when we have the knowledge and the awareness of how this is impacting your fertility, how being exposed to blue light can be negatively affecting your fertility. And it's one small shift that you can make that doesn't cost you anything, right? So let's get real for a minute. You have your phone. A lot of us are addicted to our phones, and sometimes it's so easy to get sucked in to that endless late night scroll before bed, right? We all know what I'm talking about, okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about, please reach out to me and let me know what your trick is, okay? But what is happening is that blue light is coming through our eyes and affecting the chemistry that's going on in our brain, and it's going to have a downstream effect on our hormones, including our reproductive hormones. And one reason why it's hard to break this habit and it's hard to only scroll for 10 minutes when 45 minutes to an hour later, you're like, oh my gosh, I just wasted an hour of my time. It's because we're getting a dopamine hit in our brain when we're scrolling and looking at those reels and those TikToks and all of those things. So at the end of the day, it's not just stealing your sleep, it's affecting your hormones, which is affecting your ovulation. And ultimately, it can be very detrimental to your ability to getting and staying pregnant. And here's why. So, our body, your body runs on a circadian rhythm. This is our natural sleep-wake cycle ruled by light and darkness. And at night, when it's dark out, our body is supposed to release melatonin, a hormone that signals to our body that it's time to rest, repair, and regulate. But when we're either watching TV or doing work late at night or maybe scrolling on your phone, right? It's more than just late night scrolling. It could actually be doing work on your computer before you're going to sleep. So pretty much most electronics are going to emit blue light. And when you're getting hit with this blue light, it's telling your brain artificially that it's still daytime. Stay alert. This can release cortisol in the body and it's going to block melatonin production, which low melatonin can basically equate to poor sleep quality. And here's the kicker, poor egg quality too, because they have found melatonin receptors on the ovaries. And melatonin is actually an antioxidant that can support your eggs from oxidative stress. So if you think about it, it's just almost like this vicious cycle here. And, it doesn't stop there. Blue light can also suppress your body's ability to make progesterone, which can also affect ovulation, which can shorten your luteal phase. And that's the exact opposite of what you want to happen when you're trying to conceive. And then if you think about it, if you're staying up late, doing work, scrolling, watching TV, and then even when you do decide to go to bed, your body has basically shut down melatonin production and prioritized cortisol. So then when you even do decide to get off of your electronics, a lot of times you might not actually be ready to go to sleep and you might find it difficult to fall asleep or even stay asleep. So that's affecting the quality of your sleep. And then in the morning, you might be waking up feeling like tired and groggy, and that can affect a whole other slew of things, right? Your eating habits, your exercise habits, because you might find that you're less motivated to do those things that you know are good and healthy for you when you're feeling tired and you're not feeling rested and energized for the day. So, here's a couple of tips that you can take. One thing that I had done a while back, and I kept up with it. I found it so helpful. I noticed such a shift in my overall energy is come up with a cutoff time in terms of when you're going to be done with screens. So it's recommended that you turn off all screens at least 1 hour before bed. So what I was doing is I would be off of my phone from 9 p.m. And then I also would not go back on my phone until 9 a.m. So this also includes getting on your phone before you do anything else in the morning, like scrolling on your phone in bed as well in the morning. So pick a time, stick with it. Ideally, it's at least 1 hour before bed that you want to turn off electronics. If you find that you have to maybe catch up on work for a deadline, right? That happens to me every once in a while. Let's just be realistic. Life happens. If this is something that you know you're going to be doing, or maybe you do have younger kids at home and that's your time to maybe like wind down with your husband and you want to watch a movie or something like that. Use blue light blocking glasses. So at least it's going to be blocking the amount of blue light coming into your eyes and then affecting your hormones and all of that. So I will actually share a link in the show notes of the blue light blocking glasses that I personally use. Some other tips that you could do is begin dimming the lights in your house after sunset. So you could use lamps, candles, or you could even use red light bulbs. So if you have a lamp in your bedroom, you could put a red light bulb in there and just utilize that instead of the brighter lights at nighttime. And creating a bedtime routine. So, whatever feels good to you, maybe it's an Epsom salt bath or making like a lavender or chamomile tea, journaling, doing some gentle stretching, a meditation, or just reading something as well. I find that reading before bed really helps settle my body down to wind down after the day. And then here's a bonus tip. You could consider adding magnesium glycinate to your nighttime routine to support deep, restful sleep and relax your nervous system. If you want to learn more about magnesium glycinate, head over to episode number 121, Three Sneaky Habits Blocking Your Fertility and How to Shift Them to Get Pregnant Naturally. So, all this to say, your future baby needs you to be rested, regulated, and deeply restored because when we sleep, that is when our body is restoring, it's repairing, it's regulating itself. It is so important. And this is something that you can do for free. It doesn't cost anything. And honestly, I think the majority of the clients that come into my world, if they just worked on their sleep, like they see such big changes and shifts and results in their health, in their vitality, and of course in their fertility. So here's your fertility quickie recap. Blue light equals hormone disruptor, okay? I shared with you all of those different tips that you can do, whether it's turning off your phones an hour before bed or using blue light blocking glasses or the other tips that I shared, and just understanding that sleep is your sacred hormone reset time. It is so important. And nighttime and bedtime habits matter more than you think. It's really going to set you up for success. So, if you're serious about getting pregnant, don't just focus all your energy on tracking your ovulation and taking all the supplements. You want to protect your bedtime as well. It's one of the most overlooked fertility upgrades, and it's completely free. Just another reminder, rest is powerful. Your hormones are going to react to your habits, and your baby is closer than you think. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on Tuesday's episode. And just a little quick disclaimer, this podcast is for educational purposes only and does not replace medical advice. Please speak with your licensed provider before beginning any new health routines or supplements.